What is going on, everybody? Voidlego here, back with a brand new episode of Higurashi When They Cry. What's up, everyone? We figured out who Shion really was, and it wasn't Mion. It was actually Shion. They're two separate people. Even though in the very end of last episode, I was convinced it was Mion pretending to be her sister, but nope. Game pulled a fast one on me. I was right the first time. So yeah, let's get right on to it. Never had a game do that to me before. Like, in a single, sentence, pretty much destroy my entire reality. The next day. It was a strange day, where Mion was desperate to regain her composure. Every time our eyes met, she would say that she had something to do, or that she had to use the washroom, and went off. Unable to just watch when I was taking care of her the entire time.
今日のミオンさん、徹底的に変ですわね。
一部始終を知ってはいるんだが、何とも説明しづらい。
Tell me about it.
女の子には不安定になる時もあるのです。放っておいてあげるのが一番なのですよ。
Turning around, I saw Lena calling me from the hallway. I wondered what it was.
ケイチ君、こっちこっち。
I once called this a hallway, more like outside.
なんだよ、こんなとこに呼んで。内緒話か？
災難だったみたいだね。
Could say that again.
みーちゃん、かなり壊れてたけど、なんとか直しておいたから。
よく直せたな。一体どうやって？
テレビと同じ。
By hitting her?
斜め45度くらいの角度で、えいえいって。
I don't think that's a great way to fix people. Saying that, she made a chopping motion. You know, I can't tell if you're joking or not, right?
明日からは大丈夫だから。だけど、ケイチ君にもお願いしたいことがあるの。
Could you imagine going to a therapist's office? Be like, Doctor, my father left me when I was at a very young age. Oh, I know how to fix that. Okay, stand up. Give me a second. And boom! Ow! Oh, my God. Thank you, Doctor. I no longer have father issues.
悪気はないんだが、なぜか罪の意識もある。何でも聞くぞ。
助かる。みーちゃんはね、昨日までの数日間のこと、なかったことにするから。
Fair enough. Never happened, huh? I see. Well, that's one way to learn from it.
だからね、ケイチ君もなかったことにしてあげて。それでみーちゃん、いつも通りだから。
そんな簡単なことで、本当に大丈夫なのか？
お願いだから、みーちゃんの心の整理がつくまで、そっとしておいてあげてよ。
Fair enough.
わかったよ。
Even though I shouldn't have been at fault, for some reason I felt guilty. The one at fault here was the one who knew about the entire situation and pretended to be a Mion for an entire day, Shion. Ugh, but she never once said that she was Mion. Ugh, what am I supposed to be angry at it? Seeing me stomping the ground impatiently when I giggled.
でも、ケイチ君もわかったでしょ？みーちゃんにも可愛いところがあるんだって。
Lena talked in a calm voice as her hair rustled in the wind.
ああ、退屈しないやつだということがわかった。
よかった。
Following this curt reply, Lena looked up at the sky and stretched.
ケイチ君がそれに気づいてくれれば、この数日間の出来事はすぐに笑い話になるんだよ。
Copying Lena, I also began to stretch as I looked at the sky. The clear sky towered into the distance, almost as if there's a trail into that sky.
今日は部活も何もなし。今日だけは申し訳ないけど、ケイチ君、下校は一人でいいかな。明日からは元通りだから 今日だけ。ね。
If all it took for everything to go back to normal was to leave me on alone for today, then it was an easy decision to make.
分かったよ。ミオンに面と向かって言えないからレナに言っとく。なんだか申し訳ないな。謝る。
元はといえば圭一君が無神経なことを言うからいけなかったんだよね。これに懲りて少しはデリカシーってものを身につけるんだよ。
へいへい、努力します。
Yeah, try not to assume outward appearance of somebody, you know, that type of situation. That day was the shortest day of my life. Lena was talking to me on while accompanying her around this entire time. It looked like a really fun conversation, so we flexibly thought about joining in, but I had made a promise not to. It seemed that Mian was also trying her best to ignore me. So, likewise, I did my best to ignore her. For the first time in a while, I ate lunch alone. Mian and Lena ate theirs by themselves. As I went out of sight in my ashen mood, Rika-chan came over and patted me on the head.
圭一もミーもいっぱいいっぱいお勉強しましたですね。
I'd never say it like that. Made it sound like we were having romantic problems, and then like that one bit. Hopefully the teacher would notice and call us to the staff room at the school or something.
きっと圭一は素敵な大人になれますですよ。
Also, I may be crazy, but isn't there like a rule in Japan where students can't date each other or something like that? I feel like there is, or maybe I'm misremembering something, but it's something like that, because it's the only reason why that line would make sense.
なでなで。
リカちゃんはお勉強家だからすごい素敵な大人になれそうだな。
もちろんなのですよ。僕は大人になったらすごいすごいのです。あら、私も大人になったらすごいレディーになるんですのよ。
I doubt that.
サトコはいくつになってもお子様だと思うぞ。かけてもいい。
なんですって
Sadako snapped her fingers, so wash basin fell from it. What? From above, hitting me squarely in the head. Goddamn salt traps.
何しやがんだ、サトコ。
Bang, smash, pitch, squeeze. It was a day I could fully appreciate the value of having friends. Seriously, she's gonna grow up to be fucking Jigsaw. It's gonna happen, damn it. Alright. It's very interesting how the tone of the second chapter is much different from the first one. First one was like more mysterious, while this second one isn't as mysterious. Like there's still like mysteries into it, but it's still more lighthearted, which is quite interesting. If like each chapter has a different tone to it, that'd be very like cool to see. Today was Saturday, so school ended in the blink of an eye. It really felt good to go home with the sun so high in the sky. On any other day, our quote would have been up to mischief during our ample after-school time, but today we could chant at a rehearsal for tomorrow's Higurashi to go to.
リカちゃんはどんな調子？練習はバッチリ？
去年よりは頑張りますです。
去年は終わった後、ヘトヘトの汗だらけだったんだよね。
今年はもっともっと様になってますわよ。特訓の成果、ご期待あそばせですの。
The Higurashi festival everyone had been talking about was tomorrow, wasn't it? The festival being in June felt a little early to me, but the onset of summer came quickly this year, so it fit the image of a summer festival pretty well.
じゃあ僕たちは失礼しますです。明日を楽しみになさいませ。それではごきげんようですわ。
Sadako and Rika-chan waved to us energetically, then left.
そういえば聞いてなかったんだけど、祭り会場ってどこなんだ？
It's a shrine.
この辺って祭りのできそうな場所なんてあったっけ？
フルデ神社でやるんだよ。ほら、以前にみんなでお散歩した時に行ったでしょ。あの見晴らしの良かったところ。
Oh, wait, I remember. There was a shrine all the way up on that hill, wasn't there? It seemed far too grand for Nimizawa.
神社には立派な集会所とかもあって、老人会のカラオケとか習字サークルの会合とかを時々やってるからね。単なる神社というよりは公共施設のような雰囲気だね。
なるほどね。それなら立派なのも納得かな。
みーちゃんちも今日の設営にはお手伝いに行くの？
男手がいるからね。町から親類が大勢手伝いに来るよ。
Male hands, huh? Well, I mean, I have nothing to do at home today, so...
俺みたいのが飛び入りで参加するとかえって邪魔になるか？
ケイちゃん、手伝いに来てくれるの？
迷惑なら行かねえよ。単なる興味だからさ。
We had bond dances and other festivals in the town I used to live in, but I didn't even know where they took place, much less wanted to help. You can't say that I had absolutely no connection to the region. Having come to Himizawa, though, it really made me feel like this place was a home that I'd return to. Before I knew it, I harbored a little interest in the small community activity of preparing for a festival the day before.
ケイチくん頑張れるかな？テントを立てたり、パイプ椅子を並べたり。
Oh god, the absolute torture of setting up chairs.
結構重労働って聞いてるよ。
別に俺一人でやるわけじゃないだろ。みんなでやればきっと早いぜ。
Manon looked happy to hear that, but at the same time her expression was complex, tinged with hesitation. When I gave her the last push for me.
じゃあ決定だね。行ってきなよ、ケイチくん。みーちゃんはビシビシこき使ってあげてね。
レナの推薦じゃ仕方ないな。じゃあさ、帰ったらラフな格好で神社に来なよ。汗拭き用のタオルもあるといいかもね。
よし来た。俺こう見えても太陽の下で汗をかくの嫌いじゃないんだぜ。
せいぜい腰を痛めないようにね。じゃあおじさんはこの辺で。私も着替えたらすぐに神社に行くから。
みーちゃんも頑張ってね。バイバイ。
Manon waved vigorously to us and left. As far as I could tell from her gallant, retreating figure, she seemed to have recovered from the weak stake she had yesterday.
女の子は切り替えが早いんだから。もうみーちゃんも大丈夫だよ。
あれだけ綺麗に切り替えてくれるとこっちも実に合わせやすい。
でも面白かったでしょ？シンデレラみたいっていうのかな。
Cinderella?
魔法が解けたらもう会えないってところが。
Lena began to giggle a fair bit in amusement. Did you like this sort of thing? Incidentally, me going along with it gave me a weird, hard-to-describe feeling. Did I turn myself into a plaything, or did they do it for me?
そんなに面白いならレナももう一人の自分を演じればいいじゃないか。
面白そうだね。
Uh-oh.
じゃあケイチくんはどんなレナに会いたいかな。
アイドル真っ青のルックスと俺の言うこと何でも確実に聞く器量よして頼む。
It's the fucking knockers that always get me. I always find that word so fucking funny. Knockers.
そんなの無理。
料理上手でお昼のお弁当を作ってくれて朝は迎えに来てくれて。
それいつもやってる。
I pulled Lena's head into a tight grip, then started to pet him.
竜宮レナなんだろ。レイナじゃなくてレナだからレナはいつまでもレナのまんまでいろ。
ありがとう。お祭りのお手伝い頑張ってね。
おう、明日祭りで会おうな。
Maybe everyone in this entire game has different personalities. And also I'm playing Xenogears with Faye, who has multiple personalities. Well, that's reincarnation with multiple personalities. I still don't know how that works. I don't know. I'll find out eventually, though. Because, yeah, Xenogears is probably going to end it a little bit here, which is a new chance to play a brand new game. I got changed right away, and swinging a tower around my neck like Mion suggested, I set off for a shrine. At the shrine, there are more people than you imagined even live in Mizawa there. All cornering off areas and setting up tent frameworks, chatting amongst themselves as they did so. Alright, where's Mion? Liveliness of the throng didn't make it easy to look for her. I searched around as if I already worked there, and suddenly the principal called out to me.
前原君であるか。関心である。綿流しの準備のお手伝いに来たのかね。
ああ、どうも。何かお手伝いできないかなって思いまして。
殊勝な心がけである。存分に汗を流すがよいぞ。
Encouraging words. Spurred on by the principal, I came upon a group of people setting up tents.
ありゃ、前原の兄ちゃんじゃねえの。ひょっとして手伝いに来たのかい？
I haven't found Mion yet, but I suppose I could just get in her way if I went into her.
おっす。手伝いに来ました。よろしくお願いします。
若いのは元気があっていいね。ほら、軍手つけて。テントは組んだことあるかい？
Time to get to work.
いえ、初めてです。
So widening and teaching a new skill to someone younger, plenty of people happily taught me all sorts of things. Like I know how to kill a man with a pencil.
兄ちゃんは天幕の内側に入って天骨の紐だけ結んで。結んだら足を立てて残りの紐も結ぶからな。
蝶々結びでいいんですよね。よいしょ、よいしょ。
結んだか。立てるぞ。いっせーの。
What was once nothing more than a collapsed tent was raised up, four splendid legs before my eyes in mere moments. Whoa. Seeing it put together like this is actually pretty moving.
ほれほれ、感動してる場合じゃないぞ。
This is only the first one out of the 100.
まだまだたくさんあるんだからな。トラックにテントを積んであるから、ここまで持ってきな。重いから2人でやれよ。
大丈夫っすよ。俺こう見えても結構力あるんすから。
I very much doubt that, catchy.
お
Yeah. They look light enough, so I thought they were, but they're heavy.
だから2人で運べって言ったろ。ほれほれ。
Said the man, lifting it up with the grunt and taking it away under his arm. Either I'm weak or these old guys all have superhuman strength.
ほら、一番若いんだから汗しないとダメだぞ。頑張れ頑張れ。終わった後のビールがうまいぞ。
俺未成年だし。
I can't drink. First runs on this kid. Hey, whatever. Sweat dripped from my body. I had been fully and completely absorbed in helping them. I would never have thought the cold barley tea from the Woman's Society could taste this delicious.
若いからね。担当のみ。
ありがとうございます。
It was then that I realized a crowd had formed near the shrine a ways off. When I took a closer look, I saw a girl dressed in shrine maiden garb and a handful of old men looking like they were preparing for the ceremony together.
リカちゃんか？おーい、リカちゃん、頑張れよ。
I shouted and seemed like she heard me. Pika-chan, positively exploding with vitality, answered with a smile. The older guys with me watched Pika-chan as well, with distant gazes.
リカちゃまも頑張るな。去年に比べるとだいぶ板についてきたみたいだしな。
The old lady who gave me the tea craft split looked like prayer beads in her hands and said,
リカ様、 ありがたやありがたや。
And just like that, began to respectfully pray to her. Huh? Just remember that they called it the Fruit Shrine. Wasn't Rika-chan's full name Rika Fruit? The man standing next to me answered my question.
そうだよ。リカちゃまのフルデ一族は代々大社様をお祭りする由緒正しい一族なんだよ。
Interesting. Huh. I'd always gotten the feeling she wasn't quite your average person, but it turned out she was from an esteemed family.
昨年神主様だったお父さんが亡くなられてからはああやって頑張って祭事を引き継いでおるんだよ。この立派になった姿、神主様に見せたかったの。
え、リカちゃんのお父さんってお亡くなりになったんですか？
Oh no! Oh, that's so shocking news. I could have never guessed that.
よし、休憩終わり。次は使わないパイプ椅子を沖小の体育館に戻しちゃおっか。マーキさん、Kを回して何人か連れてってよ。
じゃあ前原君、最後にもう一働きしようか。
You're gonna make me do more work? Can't tell if they know I'm a minor or not, but the older men all cheer me on, encouraging me to do my best and that the beer will be great. It's fine, guys, I'll just have a Coke.
姉ちゃん頑張ってる。
I passed by Mion. She was carrying a big cardboard box. It looks like she was right in the middle of working as well. Judging by the sweat seeping into her shirt, it seems like I wasn't the only one with his hands full.
おお、頑張ってるぜ。ミオンも頑張れよ。ビールがうまいぞ。
We were worked to the bone until the sun began to set in and started cooling off. Damn labor. Child labor laws, damn it. Well, I guess it's volunteer work, so. It was soon full-fledged night, and the clear sound of the Higurashi eased the moderate pain I felt. The older guys began their night before drinking, partying, and attend a fair a bit off, causing quite a ruckus. The shrine grounds, on the other hand, had turned into a one-way road trickled by the cool evening breeze, despite being so festival just a little while ago. The wind felt good. I leaned on one of the stone guardian dogs at the front of the shrine. I gave my legs a good stretch as I let my mind wander. Suddenly, a paper cup filled with borrowed tea was thrust before me.
ケイちゃんお疲れ様。はい、麦茶です。
お、気が利くな。サンキュー、
Her voice sounded exactly the same, but it felt somehow different.
あ、お前は。
Bada boom.
どうも、シオンです。気が利いているのはシオンの方。聞いてないのがミオンの方ですので、お間違いなきよう。
シオン、てめえ。ここで会ったが100年目。
ケイちゃんが勝手に勘違いしたんですよ。私は初めからシオンとしか名乗ってませんし。
I know how to tell between Mion and Shion. It's the damn finger. Pose.
それを言われると弱い。
そうそう、お姉にすらかなわないケイちゃんが私にかなうわけないんですからね。それより麦茶ぬるくなっちゃいますよ。
うん。
もう機嫌直してください。だからこれ仲直りの麦茶ってことで。
Well, she did come all the way here to give it to me. I guess I'll accept it. Took the cup and down in one gulp. And then suddenly, I heard a loud shout and got stuck in my throat.
今度はどっちだ。本物のミオンか。
シオン、あんたなんでまたケイちゃんと一緒にいるわけ？お姉と違って私は気配りとかできるタイプですから。汗だくになってたケイちゃんを放っておけなくて麦茶を持ってきたわけです。 ところでお姉はなんで麦茶を2つも持ってるんですか？
Mion's face went bright red and she tried to hide the paper cups behind her back.
いや、これは大雑把で自分さえ良ければいいお姉がクラスメートの男の子に海外しく麦茶を持ってくるわけないですよね。結局何なんです？その2つの麦茶は。これはそのすっごく喉が渇いちゃって2杯は飲めるかなーなんて。お姉らしい。それ一気一気。
As Shion cheered at her, Mion downed both the cups of tea, one after the other.
さすがはお姉、見事な飲みっぷりでした。ケイちゃんも拍手拍手。
Wait, suddenly the situation has gotten unbelievable. Mion doesn't usually get manipulated so easily like that. I've known her for a while now, but Shion is terrifying.
ミオンって
Yeah, no kidding.
シオンには頭上がらないのか？
Yeah, and that's the younger sister. What the hell?
私シオン嫌い。この前からもっと嫌いになった。
Just then, I heard a snap of the camera shutter. What?
こんばんは。いよいよ明日がお祭りだね。
Oh yeah, the time of your death, Tomoke.
今日は準備お疲れさん。
こんばんは。あら、
And
シオンちゃん。
what was her name again? God damn it, what was her name again? It was like Anne or something, right? God damn it.
珍しいわね、こっちへ来るなんて。
ありゃ、富田家のおじさまに高野さんじゃないですか。
Takano. That was a...
こんばんは。ご無沙汰いたしております。
in a while.
いやあ、ケイチ君。今日は張り切って仕事してたね。感心したよ。
I feel like I've seen this photographer guy before. Have we met before? I'm glad you remembered. We passed many times on the road, Kechi-kun. I'm Tomoke. I'm a freelancing photographer from Tokyo.
こんばんは。私はわかるかしら。
すみません、覚えがないです。
高野美代さんだよ。
Mio.
ケイちゃんはまだ風邪とかで診療所のお世話にはなってない？美代さんは診療所で看護師さんをやってるんだよ。
Yeah, the old men were.
高野よ。よろしくね。治療に来るときは教えてね。太めの注射針を用意しておくから。
Oh yeah, we did meet. Didn't we start meeting? Oh, Kabe. No, Kabe. God damn it. Detective after Tomoke was murdered. Pretty sure we did.
そりゃご丁寧にどうも。
Also, what do you mean by huge needle? Tomoke-san seemed to be quite entertained at the Sonozaki twins being in the same place, and he took picture after picture.
いやー、一卵性ソーセージとは聞いてたけど、並んでみると壮観だね。本当にそっくりなんだな。
そっくりなのは外見だけじゃないんですよ。ほら、下着もお揃い。
Things have never been as lively as when the two of them are together. I thought they were exactly the same at first, but I've started to get a handle on which one is which. Mion is Mion and Shion. She seems a far better actor than Mion was. In the first place, somebody that could spurn Mion so easily wouldn't have shown such weakness to those ward buckets at Danger Mort. If that was the case, then that cowardly behavior from that day was all a complete act.
あの二人、昔はもっとそっくりでね。
ご両親でもどっちがどっちかわからなくて手を焼いていたそうよ。
Well,
すごく想像に容易です。
that's interesting to know.
ご両親のご苦労がよくわかります。
Takano gave me a kind of an odd look, but explaining would have been a pain, so I didn't bother.
富武のおじさまはまた綿流しの取材が終わったら東京にとんぼ帰りですか？
うん。本当はいつまでも滞在していたいんだけどね。しがない大人の都合ってやつさ。
お写真が早く素敵な賞を取るといいですね。お祈り。
ありがとう。今度来るときには今日撮った君たちの写真も持ってくるよ。
今日は前原くんもお疲れ様。慣れない力仕事で疲れたでしょ？
まあ疲れたけど結構楽しかったです。
若さね、羨ましいわ。
Takano's sad smile with an adult elegance that no one in my circle of friends possessed. The wind caught her hair. She gives off an intelligence beauty. Oh shit.
おやおや皆さんこんにちは。
Where the hell is Oshi? Well, murders every night on the Higurashi, so it wouldn't make sense. It seemed like our merry crowd was standing out. This time an overweight older man addressed us. And again, it was someone I thought I knew. If I recall correctly, he's a policeman, isn't he?
あら、大石さん。こんばんは。明日の警備の下見ですか？
はははは。そんなところです。おや、富武くんじゃないですか。ご無沙汰しておりますね。
Gee, I hope you don't get murdered tomorrow. Yeah, me too.
僕の名前を覚えていてくださったとは光栄ですよ。
Now, what would be really interesting if it isn't Tomiki that dies tomorrow? What if someone else? Or maybe that's a universal constant. Who knows?
あなたもつくづくひなみ沢が好きですな。ここいらへんは東京よりもずっとアパートは安いですよ。
Makes sense.
いっそ引っ越してくればいいのに。仲のいい不動産屋を紹介しますよ。
それは嬉しいですね。その説はぜひお世話になりたいです。
ではでは皆さん、良いお年を。園崎の双子さんも良いお年を。
良いお年を、大石刑事。お仕事よろしくお願いしますね。今年は皆さんの手を煩わせない綿流しにしたいです。
こりゃ手厳しい。
Detective Oshi left us with a low laugh and headed off to talk to some police officers standing a ways away. A ways away. I gave Mion a glance and saw her making an annoyed face as if she were throwing bullets at someone she hated.
そうね。
What is their relationship with the Sonozakis and Oshi? It's very interesting.
今年は警察のお世話にならない綿流しになるといいわね。
君も好きだね。
あら、二郎さんは嫌い？私、そういう夢のある話好きよ。潤いのない時代だからこそ、そういうのに憧れるの。
お社様のたたりか。
Curse, Tomiki-san used a troubling word. Then suddenly someone tugged on my arm.
ケイちゃん、私お腹空いちゃったからさ。酒盛りのテントに行ってお菓子でも食べてこない？
そうだな。俺もちょっとお腹が減ったかな。
行こう行こ
A moment later, Shion said something to Tanako and Tomake-san that struck my ears and gave me a start.
今年は誰が死んで誰が消えるんでしょうね。
Oh shit. I pulled back from Mion's grip and stopped a blood boy.
シオン、今なんて言ったんだ？
Oh boy. It felt like the air around us dried out all of a sudden.
う。行こうよケイちゃん。つまんない話だよ。
お姉はまだケイちゃんに話してないの？
私、そういう話は吹き込まない主義なの。
Shion's cold and quiet tone and Mion's harsh voice were quite a contrast.
おいおいおいおい、何の話だよ。知ってるなら教えてくれよ。俺だけのけ者なんてなんだか気分悪いぞ。
I don't understand this. Someone explain it to me. However, Mion didn't seem to be at all willing to grant my request. She squeezed my hand in hers a bit, but when she realized I would hold my ground on this topic, she would go.
じゃあさ、私先に酒盛りのテントに行ってるよ。早く来ないとケイちゃんの分なくなっちゃうからね。
なあ、分かってるって。すぐ行くから。
Mion left, trotting towards a particularly noisy tent on the other side of the shrine grounds. Before she got there, she stopped and turned back around. I showed no signs of going after her, though, so she ran off.
もしも聞いてないんだったら話してもいいけど、ひょっとすると聞かないで彼女と一緒にお菓子を食べに行った方が賢明かもしれないよ。
Yeah, last time I worried about it, I got murdered, so maybe that is a smart move. Hey now, you already got my full attention here. I'm not going to leave without asking at this point.
ケイちゃんにも聞く権利があると思います。お姉はその権利を奪ってただけです。
Jion's voice was bristling with thorns, as if somehow blaming Mion.
一体何の話だって言うんですか？あんまりもったいぶられると不愉快ですよ。
Tadako-san, realizing how prepared I was, looked across the group. After confirming that there were no objections, she opened her mouth.
前原君はタタリを信じるかしら？
Here we go again.
タタリですか？面白いとは思いますけど、あんまり信じては。
I felt their cynical stares and winced. It was like they were telling me it was stranger not to believe in curses.
ケイちゃんは間違ってないですよ。タタリなんて迷信もいいとこ。信じなくて当たり前です。
そうね。それにタタリを信じるかどうかは話を最後まで聞いてからゆっくり考えればいいことなんだから。
I'm still 50-50 on the curse, but no, I'm more leaning to the side that there is no curse. It's more like a psychological effect than a curse, said Tadako-san, giving a little smile. They're trying to scare me. At least that's what it feels like.
じゃあ少し僕が話そうか。圭一君はひなみ沢ダム計画を知ってるかい？
It is so interesting how this is. We already know this information since we played the first chapter, right? But they're reiterating it, but they're restating it in a different way that's still. It doesn't get repetitive, which is quite interesting. It's very interesting how they kind of pulled that off. Oh yeah, the other day, Angel Morichian, or Mion rather, told me all about it.
確かひなみ沢が丸ごと水没する巨大なダムの計画が発表されたって言うんですよね。
その通り。それに反対するために住民運動が結成され、国と激しい戦いを繰り広げたんだ。
I've heard that too. The entire village united, using all the power at their disposal, mass media, political influence, and other things, and fought the country. The way Mion described it made it sound like a boast.
あれ？ずいぶん詳しいじゃないか。その通りさ。わずか1000人ちょいの村人たちが中心になって結束して、国の施策を跳ね返したというちょっとした武勇伝なんだ。
Yeah. now that we much more know about the fight against the Dam Project, we can now know about the murder, which makes it a little bit more complicated, because now I'm thinking that it wasn't the villagers that murdered the foreman if they were already fighting it using like actual like tactical public means, not murder.
その辺はお姉に聞かされてませんか？この辺りの武勇伝はお姉も好きですからね。
ああ、話してたよ。
そのひなみ沢の人たちが結束して旗揚げした反対同盟の事務所があったのがね、この神社なんだよ。
ほら、あの集会所がその名残よ。解散後は老人会のサークル活動にしか使われてないけど、当時はまさに最後の砦だったの。
Tarko-san explained this, pointing a finger towards the assembly hall. I had been carrying things in and out of there all day. I mean, I would understand if they put an office like that in the mayor's house or something. But having an office on Shrine Gods made it feel kind of like a base camp for Sengoku period warriors.
そんな心境だったんだろうね。彼らはひなみ沢の守り神様であるお社様を祀る神社に本陣を置くことで必勝を祈願したんだよ。
Oshiwa-sama. That was definitely it. They mentioned Oshiwa-sama's curse before. Is it the same Oshiwa-sama?
ケイチ君はお社様は知ってるかい？この神社の祀る神様の名前だよ。
Yeah.
ひなみ沢を守ってると伝えられてる。
いや、よくは知らないです。
そうか。じゃあここから先は高野さんの方が詳しいかな。タッチ。
平たく言えばそのままよ。お社様はこのひなみ沢に伝わる古い神様で、神聖なこの地が属性に汚されることがないよう守り続けてきたと伝えられてるわ。
So essentially he's basically extended guardian deity. I guess you can find that sort of god anywhere you go.
お社様崇拝は一種の先民思想の表れではないかと研究されているわね。
Weedism. Well, yeah.
先民思想って言葉わかるかしら？
Believing yourself chosen, a naturalistic belief that you're a part of a superior race or that you're a special clan chosen by the gods. Yeah, that can definitely turn into very bad ideologies. They believe that they're a superior clan, so they believe strongly in cooperating with others, but they also end up being exclusionary towards other clans. I won't go into too much detail, but it's a sort of national and religious ideas that we led to war, yeah. Of course, that goes for Japan too.
大昔のひなみ沢の人たちは自分たちは人間とは異なる格の違う存在だと強く信じていてね。
They were different from humans, huh? And we did hear that it was originally called the Ogre's Village, so that they believed themselves to be like above humans, as if like ogres or something like that.
下界との交流を格が落ちるとして意味嫌ったそうなの。
Interesting.
だから村に下界の人間が来ると不純が混じってお社様の罰が当たると強く信じ、何者も近寄らせなかったそうよ。
Now I'm thinking of the murders, but the murders weren't... The first murder was an outside person, but the other murders were people from the town. I mean, one of them was Rika's father, who was a prominent priest at the shrine, and his family had been part of this town for probably thousands of years if they had a shrine named after them, or built the shrine. So I don't know why they would murder him. So what? So it can't be a
よそ者を
nationalistic
嫌う村っ
like,
て
belief.
よく推理小説に出てくるだろ。
Ain't that something?
典型的なそういう村だったらしいんだよ。
一応名誉のために断りますけど、大昔のことですからね。今は違います。
Well, you gotta look at the past in order to change the future. Shion followed up quickly, having sensed the force in Tamariki-san's words. Tamaki-san, embarrassed at what he said, scratched his head. So this shrine worships Oshiro-sama, thinks of Himizawa as a holy ground, and it's symbol of their traditional hatred of the outside world.
なるほど。だから下界からやってきた汚れたダム計画に立ち向かうためにひなみ沢の守り神様の神社に本陣を置いたと。
Correct. Smile Tadaku now, pleased. She must dislike stupid people.
円担ぎも万端。村人たちは視力を尽くしてダム計画に立ち向かうんだ。
Everything,
その最中なんだよ。事実上、あの事件でとどめが入ったと言ってもいい。
God damn it, it really is 50-50 on either the villagers did kill them, kill the foreman, but or did something to make the foreman die. Maybe they put shit in there, like, because we learned that the whole thing with the foreman was the workers themselves at the dam who got into like an argument with the foreman, and then eventually they accidentally killed him, and then they split up the body in order to hide it. Maybe they used that same drug that was used on Tamaki-san and Kechi in order to make them superstitious and see things as hallucinations. Something like that. But would they have that back in the 70s? Well, this is 1980 for a specific way, so I mean, it's not too long. I mean, truth serum exists. But it really is 50-50 on both the villagers could have done the murder, or they couldn't, or they shouldn't, because if they did the murder, that would finish off the dam project. But if they also did the murder, that would place all suspicion onto them, in which it might, get police involved, and you don't want police involved in this highly, dangerous, like, highly, like, sensitive political situation, It's very interesting. Oshiro-sama's curse.
ひなみ沢ダムの建設現場の監督がですね、4年前かな。結構派手に新聞に載ったんですけど、覚えてません？
ちょっと知らないな。
部下と喧嘩してつるはしでめった打ちにされて、両手両足首思いで捨てられたんだそうです。
So he had a fight, and then the subordinate beat him to death with a pickaxe? Oh, fuck. I thought he, like, accidentally beat him to death, not with a fucking pickaxe. Jesus.
バラバラ殺人だよ。
Ugh. Such a gruesome incident. But it was just that, an incident. The person caused the incident, after all. Should they really put it down to the curse? Well, they never found him.
その翌年にはね、ひなみ沢の住人でありながらダム推進派のグループを結成していた男がね、旅行先で崖から落ちて死んじゃったの。これは事故だそうよ。
何しろひなみ沢中から敵視されていたからね。警察もかなり念入りに他殺の線を洗ったんだけど、結局事故と断定したみたいだよ。
Now, wasn't that man Sadako's father? Or am I misremembering? It was... Yeah, it was Sadako... Wait. No, it was the woman murdered in her home that was Sadako's mother. The father, that was Wika's father. Right? I think. No, Wika's father died by... I need to write this down. Wika's father died of the illness. I don't think that guy has any... Well, maybe it's Rena's. There's a lot of things to remember. Now it's an accident. This is the most curse-like one, but it's still far-fetched.
さらに翌年、今度はね、この神社の神主さんが原因不明の病で倒れて急死しちゃったの。
They seriously need to get like a notepad to write all this shit down, so I can get like my thoughts in order.
前の神主さんはこう言っちゃ失礼ですけど、ちょっと日和見な人だったんですよね。村中が反ダムで盛り上がってるのに、神主さんは放っておけみたいな感じで。
Interesting. Motive?
抵抗運動の象徴である神社の神主さんがそんな感じなんだからね。リーダーシップを期待していた当時の村人たちは失望し、中には怒りを抱く人たちもいたそうよ。
Very interesting.
だから当時年寄り連中はみんな言ったんです。これはお社様のたたりだってね。
It did seem like every year, damn well, the people of the village had resentment towards were dying, and it was pretty quickly. So by the third death, that's when people were coming up with Oshiro-sama's curse.
しかもね、面白いことにこれらの事件や事故は毎年必ず綿流しのお祭りの晩に起こるんだよ。
ね、ちょっとたたりっぽくなってきたでしょ。
さらに翌年、つまり去年だね。今度は事故死したダム推進派のリーダー格の男の弟夫婦の奥さんが撲殺死体で発見されちゃったんだ。
Sister-in-law. So that was Haruko's father, who fell off the cliff and died. Sister, yeah, because I remember. I guess that would no, that was Sadako's uncle because sister-in-law. So okay, that yeah, because I know for a fact that the fourth murder was Sadako's mother.
もちろん犯人は捕まったけどね。
ね。
But didn't the perpetrator turn out to be like the brother or something like that? I think it was something like I need to write this down.
やっぱりたたりっぽいでしょ。
For years in a row, each one of the incidents and accidents were relatively commonplace, but every single one of them happening on the night of the festival worshipping Oshiro-sama, that's abnormal.
年寄り連中はこの数年の事件ですっかりお社様のたたりを盲信しちゃって、若い人たちだって最初はバカにしてましたけど、今は誰も茶化しませんね。
Yeah, I can see where she's coming from. Even me, even if I didn't think there was a curse at all, thinking about all the incidents like this makes me feel like maybe it's real.
例えば今日のお祭り準備にしてもそうさ。ダムとの戦いで荒れていたとはいえ、何年か前までは綿流しはそんなに盛況していたわけじゃないんだよ。
Yeah, now everyone wants to go.
まあそうですね。お社様のたたりの話がなかったらこんなにお祭りには集まりませんね。不信心者には罰が当たるかもしれない。だからお社様のお祭りには必ず出ようって言ってる人たち多いです。
That's a very interesting consequence of this curse. Make more people go to the festival, which brings the community together even more. It's interesting. Shion nodded as if she were mocking herself.
どうかな。ケイチ君もひょっとしてたたりは本当にあるのではという気になってきたんじゃないかな。
Nah, it's not real. People perpetrate it. What type of forces are they? I don't know. Who the fuck the director is? I got no idea still. Seriously, who the fuck is the director? I'm even forgetting that son of a bitch. He's like very important to this. And why the hell would there be a director? I mean, you can't just waff off people related to the dam construction project all dying like that. If even I feel like this now, then a more superstitious member of the village must feel stronger than that.
まあそれでもたたりなんかないと思ってます。ですけど信じる人たちの気持ちもわかるつもりです。
さすがケイちゃんは冷静に判断できてますね。
John grinned, realizing I rejected the curse. Interesting.
たたりでもなく偶然のはずもないなら、さてこれらの事件はどういうことになるのかしらね。
San said, smiling playfully as if posing a little. Neither a curse nor coincidence. But every year someone dies. What should we make of that then? Tomariki-san, catching on to the fact that I had no idea what to make of it, opened his mouth and came to my aid.
高野さんはね、人間の仕業かもしれないって言ってるんだよ。
Eh? Simple process of elimination would have gotten me there. I was a little taken aback at not having realized the answer immediately.
だってそうでしょ。たたりでもなく偶然でもないなら、人の意志が働いてるとしか考えられないもの。
Takano-san pressed on. I smiled bitterly in spite of myself. Here I was just a few minutes ago, thinking the very concept of a curse was absolutely absurd. When she suggested it was someone's doing, I ended up thinking, there wasn't any way it could be a person. But Takano-san was right. It was either a curse or it was a person's doing. If unrealistic things like curses didn't exist, then the obvious next step would be to start thinking it was people behind it. But if that was the case, I glanced at Chion.
人間が犯人なら確かにひなみ沢の誰かが犯人なんでしょうね。現に警察の大石さんはそう見てますから。
おいおい、そんなわけあるのかよ。
I thought I now knew the reason Mion didn't want to talk about this. If Osho-sama's curse really existed, then that's fine. It would be divine judgment for the damn project business. However, if Osho-sama's curse didn't exist, which it obviously didn't, then the culprit would most likely be someone from Himizawa. The villagers had worked desperately to oppose the damn construction project. I knew they had used all sorts of methods to fight against it. If one of those methods was... maybe...
お社様のたたりはダム計画抵抗運動の暗部じゃないかって囁かれてるんです。
Chion dryly put words to my exact thoughts. Of course, I didn't expect it. She was from Himizawa, so I didn't think she'd come out and say it herself.
ちょっと落ち着いて考えれば、誰が見たってひなみ沢の誰かの仕業だってわかることです。ダム工事に反対して得をする人以外、動機がないじゃないですか。
I mean, yeah.
それはそうだけど。
Admitting to the existence of a darker side of the damn conflict would be rude to Mion, who spoke of it so highly. And really, I mean, the one, like, group that's powerful enough to do this type of thing that I can think of right now is, well, the Zonazaki family. I mean, they're pretty powerful. They have, like, hands in a lot of different, like, businesses and all that. I mean, hell, they have a butler, for God's sake. So it's very interesting. But why would they do this? Why would they put up the perception or the falsehood of a curse to keep outsiders out? But if they do that, that wouldn't, like, get tourists in, since they're most likely business. They're definitely a business family. Or maybe it's supposed to... well... yes, yeah. That's the problem with it being real people, is why the reason to keep up this facade of a curse? To keep fear in the people? Not to, like, go looking for something much darker in Himizawa? Or something like that. I don't know. So I couldn't just accept Shion's seemingly logical viewpoint.
それにね、警察の人は知らないだろうけど、
Don't know what.
ひなみ沢の人間にはわかる、ひなみ沢の人間の犯行だという証拠があるんです。
There's proof.
え？
Shion rebukes me to keep my voice down.
ごめん。
Okay,
で
what's the
も
proof?
その証拠って一体。
必ず一人が死んで、もう一人が消えるからです。
One more person disappears. Did that mean that someone besides the one who died from the curse was a sacrifice?
消えるって意味がよくわからないな。
Yeah, there's always someone else
そ
that
れは
disappears.
失踪するって意味か？
Yeah, there's also that factor as well. I mean, if they wanted to murder somebody, yeah, sure, to keep the fear up, that's all they had to do. But if they want to make someone else disappear, wouldn't that be more hard work to keep up the facade? You know? And plus, in the first murder, it was the perpetrator, like the main guy who did it, that disappeared. Second one was the wife. Or, no, that was the third one. The third one was the wife who went into the swamp. The second one was, I think, also the wife? I'm pretty sure, yeah. The fourth case was the brother that went missing. That he wasn't the perpetrator, it was the brother that went missing. So, why would they need to do 2 people instead of 1?
そうです。忽然と跡形もなく。
As she spoke, Shion pretended to do a trick with her hands like she were making a magician's hat disappear. One dies a mysterious death and one disappears, never to be seen again. A strange vanishing act. But then why? How does that equate to someone from Mizawa being the culprit? Yeah, exactly.
実はね、ひなみ沢の古い伝統の一つにね。
Is it the Order of Village one?
お社様の怒りを鎮めるために生贄を捧げたというのが。
生贄?
I knew there was going to be some sacrifices in this game. Mysterious village worshipping a guardian deity? There's got to be some sort of sacrifice in it.
ええ。すまきにされて底なし沼に生きたままじわじわと時間をかけて沈めたんです。
Shit. Takano-san, Fu, explaining something pretty terrible, has a look of glee on her face as she did so.
文献を調べた限りでは3日3晩をかけて本当にゆっくりとじわじわと沈めたそうよ。
Damn.
ほら、昔の人って結構ダジャレが好きでしょ。
How does that symbolize?
沈めるをかけてたんだと思うの。だから時間をかけて沈めるという意味があったんでしょうね。
Takano-san was the only one laughing at this. Was she telling a joke or something? Shion didn't move to deny it, but I felt a difference in temperature between her cool expression and Takano-san's.
この辺の話はまあ聞いて想像がつくと思いますけど、ひなみ沢の秘史です。ひなみ沢に昔からいる人なら誰でも知ってますが、それを口に出すことはありませんね。
高野さんはひなみ沢出身じゃないけどね、詳しいだろう。彼女は郷土史とか民間伝承とかが好きでね。全部独学で調べたんだよ。
そんなにかっこいいものじゃないのよ。単なる知的好奇心。子供と同じよ。ただの怖いもの見たさ程度なんだから。
Tomoki-san laughed, a little bit embarrassed.
ちょっと待ってください。ってことは何ですか？事件のたびに消えるという一人は生贄に捧げられているって言うんですか？
Yeah. Shion answered in one word before anyone else can speak. Someone dies and someone disappears.
本当に生贄にされてるかどうかは別にして、
Sure.
過去の事件では必ず一人が死ぬ他に一人が消えてるんだよ。例えば一番最初のダム現場の監督が殺された事件も、複数犯のうちの最後の一人が未だ逮捕されてないらしいんだ。
Yeah, they are gone.
それは単にうまく逃げおおせてるだけなんじゃないんですか？
Not because they found this car by the swamp.
別に生贄にされたというのとは違うのでは。
So, okay. In that situation, then in the first case, that means that he would have sacrificed himself, which I very much doubt. So, because if he was one of the construction workers, why would he know about the Himizawa legend of sacrificing to? Yeah, it would be the Himizawa residents or one of the villagers or fucking the Sonozaki family.
まあ僕もそうだとは思うんだけどね。で、次の年のダム推進派のリーダー格の男なんだけど。
確か旅行先で崖から落ちて亡くなったんですよね。
落ちたのは奥さんも一緒らしいの。
Yep.
警察は懸命に捜索したんだけど、どうしても奥さんの遺体だけ見つけられないんですって。崖下の川は増水してたそうだからね。どこか川下の湖の湖底で土砂にでも埋まってしまったのかもしれないけどね。
And there's also that whole thing with Wena about leaving Himizawa and that like fucked her up, and she's saying like she saw Oshiwo-sama. Maybe that's more of a paranoid thing. Maybe she actually thought like she did believe in the curse after some sort of incident, or maybe she was injected with the drug that was injected into both Tamake and Kechi. But no, if she was injected with the drug, she would have whipped out her own throat. She would have died in like less than like 24 hours. But she kept on going. Maybe she just maybe she already had mental illness problems, and that Oshiwo-sama's curse just the idea of the curse just enforced that a bit more in her mind, or something like that. The perpetrator of a dismembered like that wouldn't want to be caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide too. I thought I heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface after the person drowned in a swelled liver like that. She vanished because of an unfortunate accident, but I still didn't see the connection to sacrifices. If you took two of each past incidents in turn, none of the disappearances evoked that terrifying image.
その翌年の神主の病死の時ははっきりしてます。奥さんが遺書を残したんです。死んでお社様のお怒りを鎮めに参りますってな感じのが神主さんが亡くなった晩に自宅に残されてたそうですから。
The curse. It seems to turn up in this one though.
まあ真相は闇の中なんだけどね。その奥さんが受水自殺した沼はさっき高野さんも話した例のでっかい底なし沼ってことになっててね。警察も沼を調べたそうだけど、遺品がいくつか見つかっただけで遺体は発見できなかった。警察は偽装自殺を疑って今でも探してるらしいよ。
Someone dies every year in the same way someone goes missing every year. She's trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means and dumped into the bottomless swamp, still alive and drowned to death? But a curse? That's unbelievable. It sounds right.
その翌年にはなんだっけ、ダム推進派の男の弟夫婦の奥さんだっけ。
With it all being people of the day. Well, now, okay. Now that we know about how the priest was, he didn't have like a direct like he had a wait and see type of attitude towards the dam, so that would give more motive to the people of Himizawa to kill him. But why would they kill? Now here's the question: we need future information. Why would they kill Tomiki-san? Why would they kill him? Because it doesn't seem like he supports it. It seems like he's just a visitor coming to and fro from Himizawa. Maybe because he's taking a picture. Well, no. If he was taking pictures, wouldn't they have just killed him in the first year he first came to Himizawa? Like, why would they kill him now? Like, well into, like, he's been back and forth from Tokyo to Himizawa, you know? Well, why would they kill him now? Shit.
が殺されたんだよな。
So at the time someone else vanished.
消えました。北条聡君っていう私と同い年の男の子です。
Yeah, Satoshi Hojo.
殺された主婦の義理の甥にあたります。
She caught in with a slightly strong tone of voice. She knew the boy who had disappeared pretty well. At least that's what I was getting.
まあざっとこんな感じね。必
Interesting.
ず一人が死んで必ず一人が忽然と消える。
Very interesting. We learned a little bit more information. A little bit more details, you know. Like last time it was like more of an overview. This time we got a little bit more details on it. Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact that was that each incident involved one person disappearing.
じゃあつまり一人目が死ぬのはお社様のたたりで、二人目が失踪するのは村人が生贄に捧げてるからだって言うんですか？
That's what people believe, at least the older people.
ケイちゃん、たたりなんかないです。誰かがお社様のたたりという名で一人目を殺し、誰かがその生贄として二人目をさらってるんです。
でもシオン、それじゃあ村の中に犯人がいるってことになるんだぞ。
But if it's a Sonozaki family, well, maybe Shion doesn't know about that it is a Sonozaki family doing all this shit. Maybe she isn't in the like fucking top of like the family or whatever. So that would make sense. Or two choices here. One, she doesn't know it's her family, or two, she knows it's her family. She's just driving suspicion away from them, you know, in a way.
私は初めからそう睨んでます。結構ショックですよ。この昭和の時代にそんな古い飲酒で人殺しが堂々と行われるなんて。
Didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I got the feeling that maybe Shion didn't like Himizawa very much. Mian enjoyed talking about Himizawa and his epic tales, so she had avoided talking about Oshiwa-sama's curse, which didn't paint Himizawa in a good light, no matter how you looked at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. Shion, on the other hand, was somehow different. She wasn't rejecting the concept of the curse to purge Himizawa of this bad impression, but rather because she strongly believed that a member of the village was the criminal behind this. Your conviction seemed a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the people of Himizawa. Once upon a time, they looked so alike you could mistake one for the other. But, talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling that she had a completely different personality than Mian. Wasn't? Okay, yeah, because because that same like event was when Mian, who dressed up as Shion, came together to help us with all the other people of Himizawa. That was Mian. Okay, Shion does not have like Himizawa. But why does she have like if she thinks that it's someone in the village, why does she have like a weird like hostility towards Oshi? Because Oshi also thinks the same thing of that it being someone in the village. So why does Shion have like a little bit of like hostility towards him?
じゃあ皆さんはひなみ沢の誰かが犯人だと思ってるんですね。
Neither Shion nor Tanaka-san answered that. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said.
じゃあ重ねて質問します。ひなみ沢の誰かが犯人なら犯人は誰なんですか？
Neither Shion nor Tanaka-san had a reply to that question either. Though it may have been rude to ask, I had hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason I asked was to argue that their explanation that the culprit was Himizawa is nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan. She gave a pained smile at my petty spite and opened her mouth to speak.
私が言ったのは所詮状況証拠ですからね。具体的に犯人の名前を知ってたなら警察に突き出してます。
This would anybody. Then what about Takano-san? She too smiled dryly as Shion had opened her own mouth.
ね。はじめに誤解を解いておきたいんだけど、別に私は探偵さんのつもりはないのよ。本音を言うとね、犯人が誰かなんてことには興味ないの。
高野さんも困った人だな。
Tomeke-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter.
私はね、古式ゆかしい残酷な風習やおとぎ話に興味があるだけ。知的好奇心で面白がってるだけなの。だから一連の事件も犯人は誰かってことよりも事件の存在自体が古い印象がまだ根深く残ってることの証拠だって思って面白がってるくらい。
Well, unfortunately for you, you're going to be the next victim. Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, her smile was as sharp as the tip of a blade. A woman like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend.
私は全然面白くないですけどね。明日はいよいよ綿流しのお祭りですけど、誰にも死んでほしくないし、誰も消えてほしくないです。
明日か。
That's right. It had completely slipped my mind. The string of murder incidents people attributed to Oshiro-sama's curse, it wasn't over. If last year's incident wasn't the end, and then tomorrow night at the festival, would someone die and someone disappear?
明日は一体誰が死んで誰が消えるのかしらね。
Takano-san said, wanting to comb through her hair with arrogant movements, with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the incidents that could happen tomorrow. Then, out of the blue, we heard a loud round of applause. He seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right, I was making me on wait this whole time, wasn't I? I should go back to her soon.
高野さんもからかいすぎだよ。圭一君がすっかり真に受けてしまったじゃないか。
ごめんなさいね。また悪い癖が出ちゃったみたい。
Said Takano-san, sticking out her tongue bashfully. The strangeness in her expression was nowhere to be found.
高野さんはね、純粋そうな子を見るとからかいたくなる悪い癖があるんだよ。圭一君が真剣に聞いてくれるもんだからついつい調子に乗っちゃったみたいなんだ。
Unlike Tanako-san, Tomiki-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they'd given me.
高野さんが今した話はあくまでもフィクションだからね。もしもさっきの話で圭一君がひなみ沢に持ってたいい印象が傷つけられてしまったなら純粋に申し訳なく思うよ。
もう二郎さんたら。
高野さんも謝った方がいい。怖がらせてしまってごめんなさいってね。
Takano-san and Tomiki-san were arguing and messing around now. The strained air around us had already dissipated.
ケイちゃんもそろそろ戻った方がいいです。お姉は嫉妬深いですからね。私は顔を合わせると喧嘩になりそうだからこのまま帰ることにします。
そうなのか？じゃあ俺はミオンのとこに戻って待たせたことを謝るかな。
迷惑をかけたね、圭一君。ミオンちゃんに圭一君を長く借りすぎて申し訳ないと伝えてくれないかな。
あ、はい。伝えても機嫌は直さないと思いますけど、一応。
Tomiki-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle.
じゃあね、ケイちゃん。明日のお祭り、どこかですれ違えるといいですね。
会えるよ。どうせ俺たちのことだ。賑やかにやってるに決まってる。
Shiona and I said our goodbyes to Tomiki-san and Takano-san. Before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us.
私の話を真剣に聞いてくれてありがとうね。前原くんがあまりに聞き上手だったんで話しててとても楽しかったわ。
聞き上手なんてそんな。
I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shocking topics being thrown at me one after another.
今日した話面白かった？
まあ 興味深かったです。
ならまた今度も聞いてくれる？ひなみ沢の昔話とかおとぎ話にも興味深いものがたくさんあるの。もちろん薄気味悪いのがたくさんね。
Let's hope you live long enough to tell me.
たくさん披露するわよ。
I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. I can't help but smile driveway and scratch at my head.
ケイチ君、もう行ってもいいんだよ。高野さんがからかっているだけさ。
They say goodbye again and went off. Later told me Kei-san called out behind him in a queer voice that we would see each other at the festival tomorrow. When I went to the tent, Mian was waiting for me, and she was nowhere to be found. I made her wait so long. Maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I heard that she went home, talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. My regret for having made Mian wait wasn't enough to triumph over the impression Takano-san and Shion's uncanny story left on me. Serial murders incidents that had happened 4 years in a row. Would tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Himisawa was carrying out this all out under the guise of the curse. The queer tradition of ritual sacrifice entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we lived in. I regretted it a little, though it was too late. If none of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, then I should have let Mian pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. So in this timeline, Kechi believes it's not a curse. Well, in the other timeline, he came to, like, believe, whoa, that's a lot of tips. Alright, well, this episode's not going to end for a little while. Okay, let's take a look at these scrapbooks. Alright, scrapbook 1. What the hell is this? Osho-sama's curse. In the ancient Onagafuchi village, the danger of Osho-sama, his curse, was feared above all. However, it is seldom stated anywhere what eventually happens and what sort of divine judgment curse befalls them when Osho-sama is angry. From various reports, all hell will break loose, demons will come flooding out, the miasma from hell will flood outward and kill every villager, letting not a single one escape. The ones evoking images of the village being annihilated stand out the most. These terrifying ideas of divine punishment are in alignment with many other religious beliefs regarding the apocalypse, hell, and it's easy to imagine that they are just ways of convincing people to obey the teachings in order to prevent such an end. The conditions for inciting Osho-sama's wrath are likely the same as the taboos in Onagafuchi village. I believe that when an act was performed that violates one of these taboos, Osho-sama was termed angry. And in order to quell his anger, they would perform the aforementioned sacrificial ritual. Okay. So his wrath is brings about pretty much the apocalypse, huh? So what are the taboos, What are the taboos in the Onagafuchi village? Scrapbook 2. The human sacrifice ritual. The sacrificial ritual was a simple drowning involving plunging sacrifices into Onagafuchi swamp, which was considered hallowed. Of the rituals of Onagafuchi village, this one was unique in that the sacrifice would sink slowly over the long course of 3 days and 3 nights. I believe that it wasn't so much the killing of the sacrifice that was important, but rather the symbolism of them sinking as the submerging of Osho-sama's anger. This scrapbook is from Takano. So, for that purpose, they must have had a passion for learning various methods for keeping the sacrifice from sinking too quickly, to force them to sink more slowly. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell from the records, those methods were not recorded. My thoughts are that they may have used logs or some similar material to create a raft, then set up a scaffold on there, hung the sacrifice up with ropes, and let them sink little by little over time into the swamp. However, if that were the case, it would not be strange if the ritual implements used for such a ceremony were honored as holy and enshrined somewhere. Okay. Scrapbook for you. Implements used for the ritual. Ritual tools utilized for ancient religious ceremonies are commonly referred to as implements or ritual implements, and even now some of them are enshrined on the property of food shrine in the free families. Free families, huh? However, the identifiable tools are all decorative and none appear to have been used in rituals governing the dark side of Onikafuchi village. As the Edo era came to a close and many traditional rituals were lost, were they lost as well? Or perhaps buried in the darkness? I don't believe so. Both the implements used on the night of the feast of Onakafuchi and those I used during the sacrificial ceremony must still exist, enshrined away from the eyes of the masses. Without a doubt they exist here, today, at this very moment in Himizawa. Also, I'm nearly certain where they have been enshrined. What was once booked steadfast has, for some reason, changed this year to a cheap-looking padlock. He may be able to do something about such a lock. However, it is not far from the assembly hall, nor is it ever far from the presence of people. However, I will not give up. The night when it becomes a blind spot to every villager in Himizawa is coming soon. Soon it will be Wanakagashi. Wait. So, okay, is Tomiki and Takano planning to break in order to find these ritual tools? In order to, was that the reason why they were murdered? It's because someone caught them and they were, like Tomiki was drugged and Takano was dragged away, disappeared, pretty much. So they're not here just for simple photos. They're here to break into the shrine and get these ritual tools in order to do something with them. Festival is around the corner. Alright, let's go over to Oshi. Wobble.
おいおい、今日のうちからへばっててどうすんだよ。本番は明日だぞ。明日は最後の最後。バッチリ深夜まで燃え上がっていくんだからな。よっせ、気合い入れてきますよし、若さが一番だ。
I very much enjoy these tips because they give different perspectives and we get to learn much more detail and more things. We wouldn't have known that Takano and Tomiki are trying to break in to find these tools if we didn't read those tips. So they're very useful to read.
みんなお疲れさん。綿流しはいよいよ明日だからな。今夜は早めに眠って体力を蓄えておいてくれよ。
Tomorrow is final Wanakagashi. Festivals are split into two groups: those who enjoy them and those who support them. The former only needs to prepare their minds, but the latter needs not only that, but also painstakingly crafted plans and preliminary arrangements. While the general majority attending goes about enjoying the festival without a care in the world, we'll be strained the whole way through. Why?
そりゃ決まってるだろう。全部終わった後のビールがうまいからだよ。
At times like these, it's best to have energy, physically fit people. It wouldn't be worth it if you didn't do your best until the end, joining it the whole way.
ああ、来ました。
Oshi-san came in. Everyone hurried to stand up.
はいはい、皆さんお疲れ様ですね。そのままで結構ですよ。
お疲れ様です。
Not even my seniors, who usually talk big about themselves, can hold a candle to Oshi-san. We all bowed as if we were one of those cheering squads of old. Kurado Oshi, a detective just waiting to retire, one who doesn't pay much mind to rules and regulations and doesn't do too much in the way of real work. He looks like a rotten old man with a penchant for dirty jokes. My seniors, though, tell me he was a real fighter in his younger days, that he may or may not have been quite a heroic legend trailing behind him. Anyway, he surely had much more dignity and presence in the room than the section chief who came in with him.
皆さん、明日の綿流しの準備、本当にお疲れさんです。
Everyone present stands upright and lends their ear to the chief's directions.
昨年発生したように連続事件を期待する愉快犯の出現が濃厚に危惧されます。各員一層気を引き締め、犯罪の抑止のために任務を全うしてください。何も起こらなければ一番いいんですがね。必ず事件は起こると考えてくださいよ。抑止が一番ですが、まあ多分無理でしょう。今年も誰かが死んで誰かが消えます。もう間違いなく。
Everyone apart from the section chief smiled painfully.
大石さん、そんなんじゃ困るよ。もっと真剣にやってくれなきゃ。
肝心なのは祭りの夜を越すことじゃないんです。明日の夜起こった何かに迅速かつ徹底的にどこまでも食いついていくこと。気合い入れてくよ。兜の尾を引き締めてき。
Yeah, clench those cheeks.
お社様のたたりの化けの皮を完璧にひっぺかしてやるぞ。
Hell yeah. It's very interesting to see the night before Higurashi at the police station. Very interesting. We learned quite a bit in this episode, actually. We learned some things, but we also learned a little bit more things as well. And that the disappearing thing, that's a ritual as well. And one of the guy, I mean, in Himizawa, so many Japanese words. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this type of content, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. Want to tell me something? Put down in the comments below. Want to join the Discord server I hang out in, or my Twitter? Check the description below. And yeah, this has been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!
Have you ever wanted to play? You could meet people and kick them in.